Hello. Good afternoon, Istanbul. I'm so excited to be here. So my name is Anuj Saxdev and I'm from Dubai. I own a company called E-Shopify Fulfillment, and we basically cater to Amazon and e-commerce customers. We do storage, we do fulfillment to Amazon, and other back office work related to e-commerce. So I'll keep it short and I'll pass on the mic to the next. Thank you.
No, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Marvi. I was here before already.
But we have new people coming in all the time.
I'm the CEO and co-founder of Margin Business, an Amazon dedicated agency, which is helping sellers, especially in Europe, or in, let's say, from helping sellers to go from the US into the European Union, or from the European Union into UAE. Really, we're helping that you get in contact really with your customer to understand where you're selling, and that you're selling at the place where you're selling in very well. So yeah, this is Margin Business. Krystel.
Yes, I have a microphone, so I'm very happy. Welcome everyone again to the stage. My name is Krystel and I'm the founder of Amazon Sellers Society. So for those of you that don't know, Amazon Sellers Society is a certified Amazon partner. We support all levels of businesses, brands, and anyone who has a small product, or if you have a big range of products and you want to sell them on Amazon, we support you and help you. If you're already selling on Amazon, we can help you optimize your listings, create a strategy to crush your competitors and to expand. We are focused on the Middle East markets, mainly Amazon UAE, Dubai, Amazon Saudi Arabia, Amazon Egypt, as well as right here in Turkey. But the stage throughout these next 3 days will be dedicated for all things related to Amazon, no matter which marketplace you want to sell in or you're currently selling in.
Thank you for this great introduction.
I took care of it. Sorry.
No worries at all. Okay, so we have the microphone with Mr. Omar. Let's shoot the first question. How important is choosing a localized product content in driving sales and customer engagement in Amazon Middle East?
It's super important because every single market has his own customer, and every product has its own customer. So before, what we used to do, you buy from Alibaba, you sell on Amazon. Now it's not possible anymore. We really have to segment everything down, especially for the UAE. It's another culture, it's another customer base, it's another product what people want. So what is selling in the European Union, in Germany or in France, might not sell in Spain, might not sell in the UAE. So you need to really do your research, localize your content afterwards, being sure that you actually, like, Talal said it perfectly before, you really have to, first you have to research your customer, and then you can do your title, your bullet point, you can localize everything, you can put the keywords in there, obviously from native speakers, and then you can make sure that you sell your product, or that you have the base in order to sell your product. If you did all this research and it didn't work, it can happen, you know, but at least you have done 100%, you have done your research, and you know, okay, I've done everything correctly. If I don't sell, then there is another reason. But anyway, this is how the way should be. You should need to have a product listing which is localized, not only translated. Let's put this translation thing away for a while. Localization, so localized for the UAE market, localized for Saudi market, localized for the Egyptian market. It doesn't mean that you can put the listing or the local, let's say the local dialect from Egypt into the UAE, because it will not work eventually. It's really, really important. Now in the UAE, this English is pretty easy, but still, you cannot just put the American English, put it into the UAE, and that's it. You have to find keywords in the UAE market, and as I said already, the product is super, super important. And then we come as well to the pictures, but I think, was it as well the question, correct, yeah?
Yes.
Pictures, okay. So with the pictures, the optimization is as well very important. You cannot just take the pictures from the US and bring it in the UAE market. It needs to be very adapted as well. Lexus is doing a great job in the UAE. There's several food chains which are doing a great job in the UAE. Some don't care, but you can see as well they don't get very far with that. But the ones who are really respecting the local culture will get eventually the local customers, which are your customers as well at the same time.
Thank you so much. Krystel,
Yes.
you're the next one. In your opinion, what are the challenges and opportunities that sellers usually or potentially face when trying to sell on Amazon UAE, KSA, Egypt, and how they can effectively navigate through them?
First of all, just let me know, I'm always going to ask you questions. Everyone who's watching us today, have you ever been to the UAE? Have you ever been to Dubai? Yeah. I know some of you are coming from Dubai, so that doesn't work, but we're talking about Amazon in the Middle East in this panel, I believe, because the Middle East is a very new market when it comes to Amazon and e-commerce in general. So, like anything that is new, there's always challenges, and one of the challenges is because it is new. So it's a new platform for a lot of people, and because of that, there are a lot of challenges that you might face as a seller, from a seller perspective. I wouldn't suggest that e-commerce is no longer new. It's not the future, it's actually the present. But there are a lot of challenges that you might face when it comes to being able to identify the right product for you to sell in the Middle East market, because of the fact that it is a new market. There's not a lot of tools and softwares that you can use, and there's not a lot of data that's out there, and it's a market that constantly changes. And the second challenge that I would think, Zainab, is the size. So the size of the market in comparison to other countries in Europe or the US is much, much, much smaller. So that would be also a negative part of the market. But the positive thing is, because it's smaller, it's so much easier for you to launch and scale your business on Amazon in the Middle East. Whether it be in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Egypt is definitely a very good market. But any of these three markets, it is kind of the same challenges. I think it's me.
Yes. So Mr. Anush, you can have the microphone. Thank you. Now, we've spoken about opportunities, some about the challenges. How does utilizing a 3PL service provider could, let's say, enhance your Amazon selling experience and the fulfillment procedure?
Alright. So, the advent of Souq.com taking over Amazon, now individual customers and corporate customers have the flexibility of sitting wherever they are in their own country and sell on other marketplaces. So for any individual or corporate customers to sell in that specific market, it's important to have a reliable fulfillment center, and that is E-Shopify. So we not only take care of fulfillment deliveries, but also we understand the custom clearance, we understand the know and how of the marketplace. We understand the nuances of Amazon and e-commerce. So I think it's very important to have a trusted partner, and we are able to provide a full cycle of services based on Dubai. We can cater to KSA, we can cater to Egypt. So yes, that's the advantage.
We cannot hear you.
No. Anush?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to repeat again, or
No, he's done.
Okay. Now, Mr. Omar, can you provide some insights on the most effective steps and strategies for translating content and translating product titles, product descriptions to optimize the visibility of your product and make it more discoverable?
Yes, but first of all, I just want to ask, is anybody selling on Amazon UAE here? Okay. Oh. I would strongly recommend to do it, because it's, like Krystel already said, it's an emerging market, and it's very in the infancy, let's say it this way. So for the listing optimization and localization, the best thing is do do your research, do the keyword research. I would say a part of the localization process, which includes obviously the culture for the pictures, to have appropriate pictures, to have pictures which resonate with your customer. Really do the keyword research. Be sure that you have the right keywords in there. Test them, and test them. So testing is really a part, because it's a new market, for example, the UAE, you can test the keywords very well. You can really understand which one works not. Everything is really at your fingertips. The market is so small that you can learn a lot. And that it's not like the US, where learning will cost you a lot of money straight away. So make sure that you learn, you test, and the whole localization process is so important, because your whole selling, the whole selling behind will really be in that process. Without localization in the UAE, you will not be able to sell. I've seen companies myself coming from the US, coming over with 4,000 reviews on their initial marketplace, coming to the UAE and they sell 0. I don't have now something I can show you, but in my presentation I will. But it's really crazy if you look at this, So once you understand that you're in another region, and that you really need to understand where you're selling, you 100% will be selling if you follow these guidelines. Yes?
Everybody wants to hear you. That's why.
Thank you for your contribution to this platform and coming to Turkey.com. I want to learn your precise experiment or precise offer about this native speaker finding for these keywords. Which kind of sites, which sites we should turn from English to native speaking words, keywords on their own language or on their own English native speech.
I hope I got the question correctly, but you need native speaker in order to put the keywords out. So there is two opinions, For me, it's 100% that you need a native speaker for each language you want to pull keywords. Because, for example, just say an example. Yeah, there is a Turkish speaker and you're pulling out keywords in French. Okay? We will pull out the keywords in French, but do these keywords make sense? Because there have been other sellers before you paying a lot of money to bring these type of keywords up, and these keywords make no sense, and you put them in your listing, and they sound like grammatically completely wrong, they sound upside down, and they sound not familiar to this language. So you will need native speaker in order to do that. And how do you find them? That's the question. That's why you have agencies. Number one, if you have the budget, if you're a bigger seller, you can hire an agency to do that. I would not recommend to go on Upwork and do that, because just an example, if you sell in seven EU countries, you will need to hire 7 different freelancers, which at the end will cost you more headache, more money, and more time in order to do it. So if you sell in one market, you might get away with that, but like I said, I would always recommend to do it 100%. Don't try to find shortcuts. Shortcuts will hurt you in the long run. So yes, native speaker for each and every language, especially as well for PPC. Because PPC is the same thing. You can pull out data, but you actually don't know what you're betting on. So you really need to be a native speaker or have a native speaker in your team in order to do this correctly. I hope I replied to your question.
Thank you for this great answer, and thank you for your contribution. Sorry we missed your name. Thank you for this amazing contribution and amazing question, Mrs. Jonggood. Now, speaking of insights, we continue with the insights, and the next question is for Mrs. Krystel. If you could please share some insights about the consumer behavior and preferences specific to the Middle East.
First of all, as you know, it's not the same everywhere. The Middle East is a different culture, very similar or very close to here in Turkey, but definitely we've seen a lot of European brands and US-based brands not be able to translate their products over to the culture of the Middle East. Not necessarily in product packaging or the look of the product, that's not what I mean by the product not being able to fit in, but the culture is different. As you know, right here in Turkey as well as in the Middle East in general, people are very busy. There are certain things that we don't do, such as hobbies maybe. We don't have time to have hobbies. We have to work and take care of the family and our life. So there are a lot of things that we find, such as DIY products, do-it-yourself products, which are very, very popular in the US as an example, because most people tend to paint their own house, fix their own products, fix their own things, because of how expensive it is in the US as an example. Those types of products just simply don't translate into a city like Dubai, where people are busy and they don't have time to do these things, and they just would employ somebody to do these projects for them. So that's why it's very important and essential whenever anyone, if you have an idea for a product, or if you're currently selling a product and you're thinking of selling it in the Middle East or any Amazon marketplace, the main thing is always to make sure that not only is the product on Amazon, you can look at the data and check if the product actually has demand, but you also need to figure out whether it will fit into the whole culture of that country, and if it makes sense for you to invest your time, your money, and your effort in order to launch that product in a market like that.
Very sorry to interrupt. You always had a great example with the barbecue you were selling with the customer. It's something like that.
It wasn't a barbecue. It was a hot sauna. So not a hot yoga dome. So I'm not sure if you guys know what a hot yoga dome is. I didn't really know before I saw this example. Thank you, Omar, for reminding me. So there was a brand that was based out of the US, and they wanted to sell an inflatable room, which you would inflate and you would put it in your house or in the garden, and then it would heat up and you'd be able to do yoga inside of it. So because there's a very popular type of sport everywhere around the world called hot yoga, where you do yoga in very, very hot rooms. I don't know, it's something, people are doing it. But this type of product, when we looked into it, well, right now in Dubai, what's the weather now, Omar? It's about 50. So the weather in Dubai is so hot that you just can stand outside in your garden and do hot yoga for free. You just turn on a YouTube video and it's hot yoga. It's fine. We want actually cold yoga. If somebody can invent a room for cold yoga, I would appreciate it. So that type of product, even though it made a lot of sense, it was selling, and it still is selling very, very successfully on Amazon in the US, but this type of product definitely doesn't translate into selling it in a country like the UAE or even Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Thank you, Krystel. Thank you, Omar. Now, of course, we spoke about how important is translating your product title and listing effectively, the consumer behavior, but also having, let's say, a seamless fulfillment experience is as important. So, Mr. Anoush, can you please share with us some of the key features or things to consider when selecting a 3PL partner in the UAE or KSA?
Can you hear me now? Am I clear now? Okay. So when you're choosing a partner for your fulfillment services in UAE or KSA, they should have they should be having clear knowledge on how a fulfillment warehouse management system works, and they should know the geographical or the government regulations in that specific country, so that the goods can be delivered seamlessly to the respective warehouses. Also, most importantly, they should be able to deliver to your markets like the Amazon FBA. They should be able to cater to last mile deliveries, and they should be able to update you on a consistent basis on what is the inventory in the warehouse.
Thank you so much. All right, how about Mr. Omar? Can you share with us some cultural insights and cultural nuances or preferences specific to the Middle East marketplace that sellers should be aware of, and they would adapt their product content based on that?
Product content, like I said, yes. As well the product itself, like Krystel already said. The content needs to connect with the customer. So if your content, like in the first bullet point, don't connect, it won't make sense there. The third, the fourth, and the fifth is just the second. Sorry, I forgot the second. It's just out of the window. So make sure that the first bullet point is already good, and the title as well. So what you want to sell, maybe it should not sound like selling. It should rather sound like, okay, this is my passion, and this is what I will give to you, because your life is going to be easier with that article. You don't want to sound like, I mean, this is in general, but I think for the Middle East it's very important because there are so many products, there's so many brands, and everything is just at your fingertips. You do like this, and 5 minutes later the item that you want is at your doorstep. So you are, although it's not a big market, you have a lot of competition. So make sure that you create really a need with your brand. Obviously, it needs to be out of passion. If it's not out of passion, it makes for me, it makes no sense personally. Maybe some people do things differently, but for me, if it's not out of passion, it makes no sense right now. Yeah, this is what I really would emphasize. If you sell in the UAE market, to make sure that it resonates directly, that the product has a need for that specific market. Specifically when it's a small market, you want to make sure that you be seen there and not just selling X product over there, whatever comes in your mind, or that you think comes from the UK or from the European Union, that it will sell as well directly in the UAE as well. So this is the part of the localization process, which is one of the most important ones in that region.
So, can you please recommend us some tools or applications for people who want to localize their content but they don't have an extensive translation experience?
No translation. Okay, I speak about 5 languages. I'm not a translation tool though, but it's very important that you don't use any translation tool. So if Amazon contact you and said, yeah, we can translate your content and bring it into X country, come on, let's do this. No, don't do it. They will do it for you, it will work and everything, but you will not sell, and they just open another listing and maybe get from you another subscription, So don't just do that. It's, the languages are so important. So just make sure that you put everything into consideration and make sure that you sell a lot on these markets, at the end, because this is what we are here for on Amazon, actually.
Thank you so much. So, Mr. Anoush, can you please share with us some of your amazing success stories as a retail service provider?
Yes, that's a good question. The challenges which the sellers face. Now we have a lot of sellers. I did see some of the visitors raising their hand when they sell in the UAE. The most important challenge here is your delivery to Amazon fulfillment center. What's happening here is lots of sellers are using a local courier company and sending their goods across the UAE, thinking that this delivery company or this courier company will deliver it to Amazon. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. The thing is, Amazon has certain SOPs which the local courier companies are not able to follow. Like you have to seek an appointment, you have to, the driver or the courier company who visits the Amazon fulfillment center has to ensure that they're wearing a safety jacket, they're wearing safety shoes, and the most important thing is have an appointment. So, you know, these are the challenges, these are the things which the sellers are facing, and we help them. We help them overcome these challenges. The other thing is, there are a lot of customers who get their stuff from China, India, or Vietnam, and we realize that the sticking is incorrect, the FNSKU is incorrect. So we help them replace those FNSKUs, and secondly, we ensure that the quality of the products in the boxes are all right, nothing is damaged, and then we ship them to the Amazon FBA. And thirdly, anybody who is selling in Amazon, we always ask them or request them to transition to other e-commerce markets such as Noon, Carrefour.com or Mum's World, and we have the flexibility of helping those sellers to set up a trade license if required. So yes, these are the challenges which we can assist.
Thank you so much. We're still with you, Mr. Anush. So in your opinion and based on your experience, of course, what are the main challenges that the sellers face, and how can a 3PL service provider help them overcome these challenges?
I guess that's what I answered, but the main challenges is the courier. You know, when you're sending your stuff from Turkey to the UAE, the challenge is choosing the right courier company. So in my opinion, if the courier or the box is sent to a fulfillment center and they are the ones who then deliver to the Amazon fulfillment center, I think there are better chances of your goods reaching the Amazon fulfillment center.
Thank you so much. All right, Mrs. Krystel. Now, back to you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, please.
Because I find a lot of people that are interested to enter into the Middle East market, especially let's say the UAE, tend to always ask, how do I ship my products into the UAE? How do I get my products from China or Germany or the US, wherever the products are, into Amazon's warehouses in the UAE? Who's going to do that? Who's going to pay VAT? Do you support and help with that as well?
Yes, we do support customers who are getting their units from China, Germany. We do help them with custom clearance, IOR facilities, getting approvals from the local authorities. We have the understanding of how the approvals work, so we can definitely help all sellers who are interested to sell the products in UAE and KSA.
Thank you. Back to you.
Thanks.
All right, so Mrs. Krystel, can you please share with us what are the key factors that contribute to the seller performance, whether selling on Amazon KSA or the UAE?
Perfect. So I think it's the same thing wherever you're selling on Amazon, whether it be UAE, KSA, wherever. And I'm very happy that Omar was talking about content and text and translation. And one thing that I want to just point to you is a lot of people think that nobody reads anymore. So why put effort into the content and the text? Like everybody's gonna just see the pictures, and if there's a video, great, and that's it, nobody reads the text. I am a big Amazon customer myself. I'm not just a seller, I love buying products from Amazon. But the thing is, yes, most people do look at the images because we've become visual people. Most people consume content visually. It's so much easier, so much less hassle if you watch some images or watch a video. It's so much more fun, to be quite honest. But also, people are going to look at your images, but they're also going to understand whether they're going to, if this is really the product that they want, based on the content that you have added into the listing. So that would be one step before they finally either exit the funnel, meaning they just leave your page and they decide that's not the product that they want to purchase, or they click buy now, which is what we want them to do, buy now or add to cart. So one of the key factors of succeeding would be to really create or to understand how a customer purchases the product on Amazon. We see a lot of people think that Amazon is a magical platform, which it is, but by magical, it doesn't mean that just simply having your product on Amazon means, poof, it's gonna sell. No, you have to still sell it, And I believe it's even harder to sell it on a website because, it's so tough to purchase a product as a customer if you just see a couple of images and read a little bit of text. You can't really, it's so much easier if you walk into a store and you can hold the product in your hand and you can assess whether, this is what I want or not, versus seeing a couple of pictures online. So with that being said, one of the key factors for succeeding on Amazon and e-commerce, anywhere when you're selling a product online, even if you're selling that product on Instagram or TikTok, is really explaining the value behind your product. And in order to do that, you have certain elements. On Amazon, you have your page, you have your images, maybe you're able to add a video, you have your text, you have your content. All of those are key factors to succeeding on Amazon. And in newer marketplaces like the Middle East, we see a lot of people don't know these factors, so it's quite easy when you walk into a market like this, which is considered an emerging market, and you're equipped with this knowledge and information, and you're able to input it into your business. It's quite easy to be able to compete with sellers at a much easier playing field for you, even if you are a new seller yourself, if you focus on these key factors.
So, as a leading service provider, an Amazon service provider in the Middle East, can you share with us how can Amazon Seller Society help sellers optimize the experience and reach success while selling in UAE and KSA?
So, I think that like most service providers, we started out as sellers ourselves. I think that's very essential because that makes us understand really how selling on Amazon works, because we've been through all of this, every single mistake that has ever happened, we've been through it. We also, a really long time ago, we decided to create a community in order to support and help people who want to learn how to sell on Amazon. So we created a membership, and because of that, we've been able to also navigate and see what other people that are launching their businesses on Amazon require. And for that, we've been able to fine-tune the services that we offer sellers. We like to focus on the Amazon platform itself. Zainab is part of our team, so you know. So why are you asking me this question? You already know.
I know the answer.
But we like to focus on the operations of the market itself. Anything related to Amazon, from cataloging, basically, which means listing your products on Amazon's Middle East marketplaces, to launching an ad strategy, even to searching for products that can be successful for you to sell on Amazon. Anything we don't do ourselves as a team, we've aligned ourselves with fantastic partners. Most of them you're going to see on the stage throughout these 3 days, so that we can provide a 360-degree solution to anyone. That's what we do.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks to our dear speakers. Any questions?
Thank you so much for your all speech. Actually, I have a question for the Krystel and Omar. Which one should I start first? Okay, my question to Krystel is, actually, I don't know whether should I ask this question or not, because it's selling on Amazon, but I'm selling on the United Arab Emirates Amazon for more than 4 years. And finally, I had a chance to visit Dubai on this February, and I realized that Noon is a really potential marketplace as well. So maybe you can talk about a little bit about Noon. And actually, if when I get a data from the Amazon, I just go to the Helium 10 and get the data. But on Noon, what should I do? How to get the data on Noon?
Good question, and I hope you enjoyed your visit to Dubai. Yeah. Well, we want to come here and enjoy the beautiful Turkish food. Yeah. So, look, competition is very, very important in business. Imagine if Amazon was, the only marketplace in the UAE, which was something that happened here. Like, imagine if Amazon was the only marketplace here in Turkey, then you wouldn't see Hepsi Burada and Trendyol do so well and push so much. So competition is very good for everyone, for us sellers and also for customers as well, because it makes companies such as Amazon be more competitive, be more innovative in the solutions that they create. So Noon was the direct reaction of a major holding company in the UAE. That was their reaction to Amazon actually buying out one of the biggest platforms or one of the biggest marketplaces before it became Amazon. And they created Noon. For anyone that lives in the UAE, we know that Noon is a well-known platform. It is, I would consider it number 2. A lot of people would consider it number 1. It depends on your style of purchasing the products, but it's not about emotions. Data show that it is number 2, which is absolutely great because, you know, Amazon is a huge company. So to be number 2 behind Amazon is wonderful. But because it operates on a different metric or a different system, I don't think that there are any tools that I would recommend for you that you can use in order to harness the data from a marketplace like Noon. It operates completely differently than Amazon does. I find Amazon to be a very, very data-driven company. All of their decisions that they make are based on data. Even if they want to change a button on the website, they do so based on data. They don't do it based on anything other than that. But if you are selling your products in a market like the UAE, you should be considering selling on multiple marketplaces, not only on Amazon, because of, remember what I said, one of the challenges is the size of the market. So to bypass the size of the market would be to think about selling on multiple marketplaces or cross-selling across the marketplaces, like Noon, for example.
You talked about the size of the market, so let me ask a certain question. For example, if you are searching a product in the USA, you are targeting or expecting the search volume should be more than 10,000 or multiple keywords totally will be more than 10,000. But in the UAE, when you work the helium 10, we cannot see these amounts even for the really big brands. So what should be expected for the search volume if you are trying to make a private label products in the UAE, Amazon? Then we'll probably make
Good question. We recommend a search volume of 2,000, which is very low, but if you look at the market, you know, the UAE in general has a population of 10 million, which is very, very small, but the difference is that the UAE is a very strong consumer market. So you find there's not a lot of price sensitivity in the UAE. There's not a lot of competitors as well because of the size of the market. But what you would need to do as a seller yourself, the strategy that you follow in the US would be probably to invest in 3 or 4 hero products, and that would be your brand, and that would be enough. But in a market like the UAE, which is on a smaller scale, you would need to think about unilaterally expanding. You need 20 or 30 hero products in order to have the revenue and success that you would find from 3 or 4 or maybe 5 products in the US market.
Okay, thanks, so you can pass it to Mr. Omar. So my first question is, while we are answering some question, you highlighted the importance of the testing. So what should we do in the UAE? Because in USA, Pick4, we can go to the Pick4 and test our listings or keywords. But in UAE, what should we do?
You can test yourself. I mean, for now, there is no as far as I know, there is no company that is helping you to test. So what I would do is, for example, don't do it too much, but you can change keywords, for example, in your listings. You can change the pictures in your listings, but don't do it too much, because if not, you're going to affect the whole algorithm, because at the end, Amazon algorithm in the UAE works the same way as in the US. So test and maybe 2-3 months, every 2-3 months, you know, change it up. If you see something is missing, you go in and 10, you check what your ranking is, and you work on that on data, you know, because like I said, the UAE is not small, so you can see even better. Although I think the Helium 10 tool is an indicator, it don't give you the 100% value. So it's an indicator if you're doing a good job or a bad job.
So what would you date range? For example, I change the keyword in 10 days or 1 month or every day.
1 week is good.
1 week, alright. Okay, that's all for me. Thanks a lot to all of you. It was great.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? We can pass the microphone to him or her. I suppose not. All right. So thank you so much again one more time, Krystel FInal, Omar Henry, and Anusa.